traveling was just got a little bit too much after a while. I was also getting friendly with Lou Reed, and Lou and I wound up working together. Excuse me. I produced 3 of Lou's albums. The first one was a live album called Rock and Roll Animal, and the reason that Lou had done an album, the album before that was called Berlin, and it was very depressing, beautiful album, very, very depressing, and it didn't sell very well at all. So Lou and his management were wondering what kind of direction they should go on with the next album. So Lou just asked me, what do you think we should do? And I said, I think you ought to take those Velvet Underground songs, some of your better material from those days, and get a really great band and do a live album right away, just to take the taste of Berlin out of people's mouths. And that's what we did. It's called Rock and Roll Animal, and it was very successful. Today it's still a classic. Thanks mainly to Steve Hunter and Dick Wagner, who were the lead guitar players. They did an overture that was really beautiful into Sweet Jane. And now recording a live album is pretty, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. For instance, applause tracks are on, you have to have like left and right applause tracks. These days you can do anything, but in those days you really needed the applause. As it turned out, when we got the tapes back to RCA, we were missing an applause track. We're supposed to have stereo applause tracks. We were missing an applause track. And evidently somebody had stepped on a cable, or God knows what happened, or it somehow didn't record. So my engineer, Gus, said, well, let me go into the archives and see what we can dig up in the way of applause. Now, to the day he died, Lou doesn't know that half the applause on his album is from a John Denver concert. So after working with Lou, I was asked to produce these people were putting together a super band with Craig Fuller from Pure Prairie League saying, hey, me, what you gonna do? And Doug Yule from the Velvet Underground. And they asked me if I would be interested in producing. I said, producing? I'd rather be in the band. So I joined those guys, and we added a guy by the name of Eric Kaz. Now one of the reasons was because I had been in a jug band, I had been in a psychedelic blues band, I had been in a jazz rock band. I felt it was time for me to be in a country rock band, just to fill everything out. And so we called ourselves American Flyer. The first album was produced by George Martin, Sir George Martin of the Beatles, and this was my contribution to that album. And I want to thank you very much for coming tonight. You've been great. Sleep, little girl, your candle in a cold, cold world. As I wake up, all my thoughts seem so great, but you are a rainbow today. I feel like a child. I need your body close to mine. Friends for life ain't easy to find, but you are a friend of mine. I thought I was a man in high school, and you could only be a man for a woman who gives you love, treats you good, gives you everything she could. And back in 57 life and soul. That's just rock and roll. And back in 57, I believe in heaven someday. Whoa. Back in 57, I believe in heaven someday. Thank you. I'm coming. Usually I like to stay away and come back,
for drama.
I'm going to do a song now that a couple of weeks ago, I did a concert in Woodstock, and it was to raise money. It was called Hungry for Music, and it was to raise money for underprivileged kids who can't afford musical instruments. And it was really a wonderful lineup of people that I hadn't seen for a long time. My old friend John Sebastian and bandmate Happy Traum and Jangler and Molly Mason. I think they're going to be here, and God knows you can't miss them. They're so great. It was just a wonderful concert, and we all had to pick songs from that Harry Smith anthology of American folk music, which we all grew up with in the 50s. And by the time I was invited, most of the songs were gone, but there was one song that was left that I figured, I'm going to try to work something up with this. And it was King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I have to do this. And I had such a good time doing this that I put it into the set now. And I may, it may be a little bit shaky, but I just love doing it, so please do understand. Froggy went courting and he did ride. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio, with a sword and a pistol by his side. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio, Kaimo Kimo Kaimo Ki, way down yonder in the harbor tree. Owl in the back and a bumblebee. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. He rode until he came to Miss Mousie's door. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. There he knelt upon the floor. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. He took Miss Mousie upon his knee. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. He said, Miss Mousie, will you marry me? King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. Kaimo Kimo Kaimo, way down yonder in the hollow tree. An owl in the back and a bumblebee. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. Miss Mousie had suitors 3 or 4. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. There they came right in her door. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. Mr. Frog brought the suitors to the floor. King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimio. way down yonder in the hollow tree. With an owl on the back and a bumblebee. King Kong, kitchy, kitchy, kindly-o. Now they live far up in the hollow tree. King Kong, kitchy, kitchy, kindly-o. They now have wealth and children 3. King Kong, kitchy, kitchy, kindly-o. Kaimo-kimo, kaimo-kimo, way down yonder in the hollow tree. An owl at the back and a bumblebee. King Kong, kitchy, kitchy,